Alrighty, this is how a buyer's agent does due diligence on a property. So we've got 11 Walnut Avenue, Mildura as an example. Immediately red flags popping out. I wonder if you can notice, but let's just go through the process. First thing I want to do is take the address and just see how many days it's been on the market. So 11 Walnut Avenue. Go into property.com, fuck that in. Let's go down. Got some more info here. I wouldn't rely on this estimated valuation. All these automated softwares are pretty inaccurate, but I'm not here for that anyway. So we can see it's built 1950. Listed 22nd April. At the time of recording, it's 3rd of August. So that is not good because that is a long time, especially for Mildura. It's a really hot market. Properties here are going away in 3, 5, 7 days or less. So red flags immediately. I wonder why. Okay, 3x1, 2 car space, 864 meters squared. Fucking really good land size, so it's good value for money. Let's take a look at the photos. Okay, so looks pretty good. Remember, it's an investment property, so we can't be emotional here. You might not live in it, but it's serviceable. As long as there's no structural damage that we can notice, everything, even if it's older condition, it's fine. Here we can see some cracking, so it's a bit of red flags there. Yeah, structural damage here we want to avoid. Yeah, the roof's cooked. It's not good. Probably why it's on market for so long. Bit of cracking there as well. Yep, definitely needs work, this property. Nice little outdoor entertaining. Some brickwork. Everything else is pretty standard. Floor plan. Okay, we want to check now, are the bedrooms in standard size? So that's 3.6, 4x6, 3.637, 4.34. Fine. It's got a little study area. Could be converted into a small bedroom or used as one. It's a window there. But yeah, look, the benefit of the large land size, the space here, we need at least 3 meters to subdivide. Let's go on the map view. Take a look. Might have decent subdivision potential. I like to go on the satellite view so we can see. But yeah, go back here. Okay, we can see it's facing like a rectangle here. So yeah, you could definitely subdivide. The main red flag, which I saw at the start, was the train tracks. It's right next to a train track here. Literally right next to it. So immediately, I would reject the property without even going further. Straight away, just based on that, done. 2 seconds, reject, move on. 90% of the properties we see, we reject anyway. But I'll just go through the whole process so you guys can see how we really do that due diligence. But yeah, that's a red flag. Obviously, there's structural damage. I think there's a video walkthrough here. I can have a quick look. Alright, we'll do a quick double speed look at this. Nice little marketing because it's been struggling to move this property clearly. Basically saw, yeah, structural damage. So based on that structural damage as well, I'd probably not proceed. But yeah, let's go on with the rest of the due diligence. So what I'd like to do next is just go on this free tool, After Start. It's goated. It's got a lot of stuff that's real handy. So we type in the address, do our due diligence. So first thing, I want to go down and see there's a slope on the property because we don't want too much slope. 1 meter, it's fine. So we want anything less than 3 meters, and that's fine. Now I want to check the zoning. It should be in general residential, but we can see surrounding areas, transport zone. So you don't want to be, ideally you want to be just in general residential zoning or what's common for the suburb. I guess, yeah, transport zone due to the train railway. Okay, turn that off. Grady buildings, you can turn that on just to see if you want. Not too helpful. Want to check if it's in a flood zone, bushfire zone, or heritage zone. It's not. It's in a heritage zone. So that means that there could be some impact on developing. So this is something you want to check with council if you have plans to subdivide or develop. You want to ask them what's the impact of this heritage overlay. Because sometimes these restrict how you can develop or even cut down trees on the property, what you can do with it. You really need to check before you want to buy that, especially if your goal on this one's subdivide due to the attractive land. Okay, turn electricity on. You don't want to be near high transmission power lines, so these will come up. Want to be at least 400, 500 meters away, which we are. But I'm just going to zoom out and turn it on and off so you guys can actually see where they are. So you can see it's here. really far away. No issues there. Alrighty, go back to our subject property down here. Can leave that on. Want to check easements, so turn on the water supply, sewer pipes, and the easements. There's no easements on the property, that's fine. Even if there are, if it's standard easements like it's at the back of the property here or at the front, those are pretty typical, no issues. But the only reason easements would be a red flag is if they're in the middle of the property or somewhere here, because that means your development potential will be restricted again. So you'd have to check that with the council if there was like a easement here. But it's fine. Can leave that on. Should we turn it off? Next, we want to check. Go down to here. Okay, that's basically it from this one. Now I want to check the radio frequency, RFNSA, on this website. Type in the address. This is checking the cell towers. Go click on near address. And there we go. Alright, so we want to be at least 300 meters away. So the closest one's 493 meters. That's fine. And with the electricity, high transmission lines before, we want it to be 100 meters away. Okay, so that's fine. Now you want to check the insurance as well. It's something that a lot of people overlook. Because if you buy in a property and the insurance quote's super high, then your cash flow could be an issue. So you always want to check. Go through here, go to the address, put in some dummy details. It doesn't matter. We're not going to buy this quote just to get a quick one. Freestanding home. What's it built on? Slabs or stumps? I think it's probably stumps. Yeah, it's stumps. A few details. Okay, it doesn't matter too much. Just put something that looks like brick render. Open here. Yeah, that's fine. This doesn't have to be super accurate. That automated one in for now. Construction, let's say standard, probably a bit less than how many beds? It's 3x1. 3x1. Covers car space 2. Let's say it does. No granny flat. Flooring, what have we got? Say tiles or carpet. Carpet. Closed plan, it should be. Yeah, it's closed plan. Okay, sum insured, you want to put this at the bottom just so we can get the best quote. Next, contents, I like to put 30,000. Don't need an email or anything, get the quote. Okay, turn on optional cover for tenant protection. Total's 887, that's really cheap. Average in the door is like 1,000, 1,100, 1,200. Anything above 1,500, I will check with another insurance quote. You can even check a few just to be careful, see where you can get the best quote, but I just want to see if it's above average or not. And I can see that it's actually below average, so that's perfect. Okay, now let's go back, copy that address. We want to check the pocket of the suburb. So you don't want to buy somewhere where, it's a low owner occupier pocket, a lot of public housing, because in the suburb there's bad areas and good areas, right? So this is how you can kind of get a sense of that. If you're not local, you don't know the area. So we go on this website, check the public housing. Let's type the address in. Okay, so I'll copy this here. Scroll down. Okay, so if you just hover on, you can see the different pockets. On the top right, it's got the housing information. So our pocket, public housing rate is 0%. Owner occupied 48%, which is alright. Ideally, owner occupied you want 70%. On the suburb level, you want at least 70% owner occupiers. Of course, the pockets are going to differ. As long as you're in an average for the suburb pocket, it's fine. Like 48% isn't horrible. Main thing is the public housing. So you want to check that. And there's also other paid tools where you can actually check the owner information to see the neighborhood properties, if they're government housing or what type of owners there are. So that's just an extra due diligence that we do. But obviously, if you want to do this for free, can't really check that info. Go on this other website, Heat Maps, and you can check social housing, income, and owner occupier as well of the property. But you can't type the address. We got to do this manually. So put in the suburb. It's a flaw of this website. Should have that bloody address feature, but it's alright. Can just work it out with a bit of Google Maps. We go here. Zoom out. Where is our prop? It's at top areas of Mildura. Let's go over here. Right. Let's see how fast I can locate it. Train tracks will help us. McLean Avenue, where are you? Oh, perfect. Right, so just about here. Walnut Avenue is there. Probably is about here. 11 Walnut. So looking at income right now, it's for this pocket's $1,437. So I want to zoom out and compare it to everything else. It's pretty high. Income wise, it's a good pocket. Owner occupier percentage 46%. So yeah, you can see better pockets here for owner. Mildura is it's got a bit of variation. Good areas here, not so good here. Horrible area there, 23% you want to avoid. Anyways, come down here. Let's go social housing. All right, probably the most important. With this website, be a bit careful because it says 0% some of these, but it's actually not. It's just a glitch. So you can see here it's actually 0% because it says 0 social housing residents. But if you go like here, see how it says 6, but it's on a 0%. So you want to just go manually do 6 out of 152. So yeah, just be careful with these 0%. Don't take that number. Just have a look at the actual thing. But here it's actually a 0%. So the pocket itself is pretty good. Did I actually go to Ock? I believe I did. Yeah. Link up. Alright, so the pocket's pretty good. That's fine. Area's fine. If everything else was calm, that's a green flag, but obviously we would have rejected this straight away. But let's continue. Next, we want to do a bit of cash flow calculation. So holding costs. How much is a property gonna cost me to hold per year? You want to check all this stuff because you don't want to get shot in the foot later. Do all the due diligence really thoroughly. So for our clients, we'll have the information about their deposit, their interest rate, the loan, or the interest only, principal, interest, all these costs. But let's just do an estimate. So this property, I haven't got a rental appraisal, but you can get that information from the agent or a property manager. But this will probably 3x1, play rent for 500, 480, I'd say. Probably a bit less because it's older condition. Let's just take 470. Purchase price. With purchase price, you never want to rely on this asking. They're trying to sell this property to get the best price. Agents often underquote or overquote. This can be used as a reference, but you want to do your own valuation on the property, your own CMA, comparative market analysis. That's how we value properties, determine the true market value so that we know how much to pay and that we won't overpay for a property. So it's really important. You never want to rely on this or the agent's words. Do your own valuation, but that's another video. Let's just assume that true market value is 600,000 on this, and that's what we'd pay. But again, do your own val. So 600,000. Let's go 10% deposit, 6.1% interest rate, interest only, 5-year period. Fortnightly payments, property management. We've got competitive rates in. Ignore that message. If we've got competitive rates with our property managers on the ground for our clients, 6.6. Each region differs. Regional's a bit higher usually. Melbourne, Victoria, capital areas might be a bit less, 5.5 sort of thing, but 6.6 pretty damn good for Mildura. Maintenance budget. We want to let's put $1,000 for maintenance. This is a buffer. There's no land tax here, so I actually want to consider land tax. So I'll bump this up on the $500. Let's go $2,000. $1,000 for land tax, $1,000 for your holding costs as a buffer. Council rates on average about 3,000. Mildura, I'm including water and council, which is the one, so it's easier, but you can separate it if you want. Change this to annual. Building insurance. So what was our quote? 887. Damn cheap. That's good. So we are negatively geared by 15,000 per year. How much is this costing us per month to hold? About 1.3k. So obviously before you even do your property search, you want to get an understanding what's your holding cost per year, what's your maximum. So that's part of your criteria. We've got to consider if something's not yielding enough, can't buy it because you can't afford to hold it. But yeah, everything, this will be personalized for your goals. Get pre-approved, you'll know your information. Alright, another thing I want to check is the airport environment overlay. So you go on this website, you can see the flight paths and noise maps. I already know Mildura, it's fine, it's a regional area, but I'm just going to show you guys anyway. If there's any flight path overlays, that reduces owner occupied appeal. You don't want to be directly, your property doesn't want to, you don't want your property to be under a direct flight pathway, especially if it's frequent. The noise pollution reduces appeal. Okay, so type to Addy. Okay, just realized if we put our address, it doesn't actually come up because there's no flight overlays there. I think this website's limited to where there's actually overlays. So I've just put another random address in Melbourne. You can see this overlay. Change this to master. Flight paths, noise contours. So you can do your DD there. Speak to council as well about it. If I'm looking at a new region, like especially regional, like Mildura, just quick chat to council, see what's up, ensure there's nothing. And then you don't really need to check this going forward. But if you're buying in areas where there's more noise events, flight paths, then it's better to check for each individual property. Okay, so that's pretty much a lot of the due diligence that we do as buyers agents, good ones at least. There's more factors that we go through as well. Obviously, I'm not going through everything. I'm just showing you a couple of the things, main points. But yeah, if you see something to reject a property straight away, just reject it and move on. Don't waste your time. There's a lot of properties to go through. Like 5 seconds, I see this train track, boom, goodbye. And then going to look a bit further. Structural damage. It's not ideal for most people. Roof, water leaks, not good. But yeah, check everything. See how you go. And if you want access to my full due diligence sheet, I'm happy to provide a link to that in the description below, so you guys can get access to all these due diligence factors, what to look for, how to do it, websites, and yeah, they're all free. Of course, we use a few paid softwares which help us look at a few extra things, but if you want to do this for free, you can pretty much get most of the info free anyway. You might need to just call the council, a bit more extra work on a couple things. But yeah, hope you guys found this valuable. Take care and comment down below if you want to see another video. And if you want another region, let me know and I'll add it to the list. Cheers. Take care. Bye.